What's up, people? I'm taking a real quick morning ride here. Plugging my microphone. My neighbor's outside probably thinks I'm talking to myself. That's how it goes. Microphone is plugged in. Lower down my visor. These gloves are so thick I can't even turn on the bicycle sometimes. This is a quick one, like I said, just a quick break up the monotony of my work day. I keep on promising things to you guys and I haven't delivered yet. I'm not sorry, I'm just busy. Like, I am going to learn how to solder. I am going to show you on video. I know I haven't delivered yet. I'm working on it. I'll get there. It's a not yet, not a not at all. I did buy that pad and I even installed it yesterday a couple of different ways actually. But you guys may see that in some of my summer rides. But until I can bring my wife on the bike with me, or one of my kids or whatever, they're not interested in riding, on the back of a bicycle in the winter. They have no interest in that. They're like, if I'm going to do that, I want it to be fun, not a chilling experience. So I went ahead and uninstalled it last night and put my bags back together and everything. I may do an install video on that later, how you can use it. Also, I was moderately disappointed with the padding on there, so I actually covered with the bicycle seat as well, like a bicycle seat pad rather. But it wasn't perfect, and actually after I purchased the thing, I noticed that there's some Harley-Davidson pillion seats that come with suction cups, and I'm wondering if those wouldn't work. They would hang off the back a little bit because they're a little too long, but they're the right width. So I'm kind of wondering if getting one of those wouldn't be a good option as well. I did the seat in two configurations though. One with me riding on the pillion seat, because my wife is a bigger person and she needs the bigger seat. So I would actually ride on the small seat and she would ride on the back on the big seat. So I did that configuration, and I did the standard pillion configuration for people like my nephew or any kid that would want to ride on the back, or even a younger adult, like even my daughter Cassie. Like, I would probably take the small seat for her. Not that she's large, she's about $140, but so she's not large at all. But still, it just seems like the right thing to do, the gentleman thing to do. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not used to the way this thing works. But yeah, so I'll probably be on the small seat, and let whatever passenger I have the big seat, since that configuration did work. And I did ride it around for like 2 or 3 miles. It wasn't terribly uncomfortable. It wasn't as nice as the Ariel Rider stock seat, which, why does the Ariel Rider stock seat get so much trash? Like, I'm constantly watching videos where people are like, the first thing you need to do is replace that seat. Do I just not understand the wonderful comfort of the custom seats from these upholstery shops, or what? Like, is there something I don't get? I would say, compared to a bicycle seat, the stock Ariel Rider seat is 100 times better. Like, on my Raton Fat Bear with the Cloud 9 seat, no matter what I did, no matter how many miles I rode, it was always uncomfortable after about 10 miles. you start feeling it, and you can push yourself and you can go the extra, but it's like, man, the whole next day you're like, I'm not riding today. That was just kind of how it was. Whereas with the Ariel rider seat, I've gone 38 miles in a day, and the next day I was fine. I was absolutely fine. So, in my opinion, the Ariel rider seat is just fine. I mean, if I ever have money to throw at a supposedly better seat to review, I will. And then I guess I'll find out how wrong I am, that this seat may actually be garbage. But honestly, I think it's getting a bad rap. I think the Ariel rider stock seat is just fine. I may buy a seat cushion for it. I don't know if I'll ever buy like a fully upholstered solution with the gel padding or whatever. I don't know if that's necessary. And if it works fine for me, why would I upgrade, right? But part of me does kind of, I wish I had more people with these bikes around here just so I could try one out and be like, oh yeah, that's so much better. Or, yeah, I can understand why that would work for you. I would like to know what the difference is, and I don't know if my curiosity will ever lead me to actually purchase one, though. I am curious. I would like to know. And then, and I don't want to be one of those guys who buys something, and then because I bought it, I'm proud of it, and then I over-talk it. You know what I mean? Like, you spend $250 on an upholstered seat, and then you almost have to up-talk it, right? It's like you want to justify your purchase. I don't want to be that guy who's just justifying the purchase because. Just my opinion. I was looking at various ways to live cheaper whenever I get older, because of heaven knows I'm going to need it with the way the world is today. And I was looking at like, for one thing, we're planning on moving like to a few acres in Georgia or Tennessee at some point. And we're probably going to do something simple for, well, my wife really wants a house built, and I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. So I've been looking at insulating, like smaller sheds and tiny homes and various things of that nature. I've also been looking at wood stoves and solar energy and generators and all of that jazz to maybe cut cost where I can, or even not necessarily even cut cost, but just be able to survive, out there on the grid. It does look like having your electrical source come from the city is actually the cheapest thing to do. As expensive as that is, it still seems pretty viable compared to all the setup costs for other solutions that you may never even get an ROI on. Like, I live pretty modestly. I have a pretty modest salary, so I've never had a lot of excess in my life. So I don't have the privilege of being able to figure it out, like I can't blow 20 grand on a solar solution and then wait for the ROI to leak in. I can't. I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the same boat. So I'm trying to figure out, like, one idea I had was, what if we just get large scale batteries? For the summer, find somewhere to charge them in town, like a coffee shop or whatnot. Then we could bring them back to whatever cabin we're in and just use those. Granted, it's not exactly stealing electricity if you're in a coffee shop and it's publicly available and you get the manager's okay or whatnot. I don't know what that would look like either. But yeah, I'm concerned about my retirement because in the world we live in, retirement's becoming a lot trickier. And I've got years, you know, I've got at least 20 more years of work in me, easy. That would put me at 66 years old. But by the time I'm 70 or 75 at the absolute latest, if I'm still here, you know, I very well may pass on before then. I would like to have a solid plan on what it is I'm going to do in my later years. Granted, all I really do is sit behind a desk and code most of the time, or you know, draw up documents or various things of that nature, or you know, configure settings, blah blah blah. All pretty not physically intense task, right? So I could technically do that until I'm 80, as long as my mind holds together. But yeah, I mean, I'm very worried about my future and what that's going to look like, because this will be too expensive to maintain. And granted, it's just an average Midwest house that I have here. It's about 2,800 square feet. Just had to replace the HVAC on it entirely, so that put me behind, you know, 20, 30 grand. So yeah, so I'm very concerned about that kind of stuff. Like, I can't afford, whenever I'm 75, I can't afford 20 or 30 grand on a dang HVAC system. It's not going to happen. I struggled with it today. It's caused a real struggle, and I've got a lot of other things going on that's caused some real financial struggles. So very concerned about what life will look like when I'm older. Granted, I'm worrying a little early, but now's the time to worry, not later. Actually, I'm late to the game at 46 years old. I should have been worrying about this at 30, because I'm an American. That's the honest truth. Like, I'm an American with all the medical debt, the student debt. I still have got tremendous student debt. My kids have gone to college. I helped them with loans for that. I'm in debt up to my ears, guys. So yeah, I am definitely worried about my future. Like, the American dream, what it used to be, it doesn't exist anymore. You guys gotta realize, the America of the 50s and the 60s and even the 70s, that's not where we are today. That America is gone. We're in a new America. And I don't know who decided. It wasn't we the people that decided to get us here. The people did not decide to live this way. Alright, that's my rant. Talk to y'all later. Bye now.